Hi, here we are again. Time for video number 10 in the series. We're continuing the cutting of the top of the head in mastering the classic men's haircut. Happy to have you here for more information in this series. Remember, like the video, comment on the video, share the video with a friend in the business, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Let's continue these conversations. Let's continue sharing great information. It is time now to address the area right here, and I call this the top 45. Look at my fingertips, 45 degrees from the top of the head. Straight up and straight out to the sides. The area between straight up and straight out right here, what I call the top 45. Now to remember how we got here, we cut the front fringe to get it up out of the eyes. We use the fringe length to determine our top guide length. Once we set up our top guide length, we widen the guide. We took perpendicular sections through the top guide to make it wider on top of the head. That's where we are. We have a wide guide on top of the head. If you're following along with me, you understand where we're at. So now I'm going to take that top guide, just checking my notes over there, I'm going to split that top in half. So if you're following the thought process now and the structure of the haircut, I created a wide guide and I split it in half. I have wide guide on either side of the top. This is now going to be the guide that will carry me through the sides of the haircut. I'm going to come in at the 45 point right here. I'm going to project the hair straight out from the head, 90 degrees from the scalp where it lives. I'm using my Supercuts comb because we've talked about how much I love this comb and how great it is for overhead layering. You can use the scissor cutting side of a one comb, and there are plenty of places through the haircut where we're going to be jumping to the zoot comb. Remember, I'm using this as an opportunity to showcase a variety of different combs so you have the knowledge to make good choices and decisions as you build your toolbox, your physical toolbox, and your mental toolbox. I'm going to be scissor cutting through the top here, and you're going to see when I project out at the 45, you're going to see guide at the top, longer hair as we move down the head. I just want to connect to that guide. And the key here is what are called subsections. If this area of the head is a section, perpendicularly, I'm going to be taking small sections right there. You're going to see the guide and the longer hair. I'm going to drop it down. I'm going to pick it up. You're going to see the guide and the longer hair. And right there, at 90 degrees to the scalp, I'm connecting up through the top. Small sections, working my way back, always returning to the top guide to match it up to cut it through. Now, if you noticed what just happened with the last few sections here, and I do want to point that out, I was working perpendicular to my top center parting. Section, 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 section. When I got over the top of the ear, instead of continuing to work perpendicular straight back, I began to make what we call pie-shaped or radial partings segmenting off the crown. So the whole back half of the head is a series of pie-shaped sections. The areas in front of the ear are parallel sections. So you just saw me cut the 45 through this whole side. I want to cut the other side now. I'm a right-handed hair cutter and I cut the client's right side, quick and easy. Now, when I go to cut the 45 area, on the other side, it would look like this. But this is hard. My arm is way up in the air. I'm cutting downhill. We want to cut up against gravity. So I need to make two little changes here in this situation in order to effectively cut the 45 on the other side. And I think you can see what's coming. Number one, I'm going to turn the chair. On this side of the head, I was working from the hairline back. On the other side of the head, I still want to work from the hairline back. But by spinning the client's chair, 180 degrees on the chair, and turning my comb. Previously, I combed from the front of the client back. I'm going to turn my comb around, and now I'm going to comb from the front of the client back at the 45, looking for that top guide from my widened guide on the top, taking sections, putting away the hair I don't need, picking up the hair that I want to address. Again, my partings are parallel to one another from the front hairline back until, and now that I'm at the back of the head, you're going to see what I talked about on the other side. This last section here is right over the ear. It's going to come up and away from the head. I'm connecting it up to my top center guide. What's going to happen with these partings back through here? Now they go radial, spokes on a wheel, slices of pie. Radial partings are pie-shaped partings. They're a little wedgy shaped. There is the longer hair, and there was the top guide coming up to the top. Now, as we get to the center back, there's not going to be a whole lot of hair here, because if you'll remember, when we cut our top guide, we carried it down, and when we widened our guide, we carried it down. So when I get into this area right here, just to the client's left side of the center back, there's a whole lot of nothing to cut, just tidying it up. That's the 45 on both sides of the top, right? And let's get his nose lined up. That's the 45 on both sides of the top. Center guide, widen guide, 45 point. Next up, we're going to the sides, getting very, very vertical. Thanks for being here. There'll be another video coming up. Appreciate you being here. Have a great day.